Hola chiquillos, ¿cómo están? Bueno, como algunos saben, soy actriz y les voy a mostrar en este video Y ahora sí. ¿Cómo están? Hola chiquillos, ¿cómo están? Bueno, como algunos saben, soy actriz y en este video les voy a mostrar un casting que hice en Hollywood y una actuación en la cual nos ayudó Amanda Brennan, una profe seca que viene de Inglaterra. Así que nada, pues ojalá que les guste y antes que todo, suscríbete ahora. Hi, I am Catalina Vera and I participated in a television show in Chile called Cabaret Burlesque. In this 3-month program, we were taught how to sing, dance and act. Out of the 40 women that participated, I won! I remember during the second day of the program, I was very nervous to perform, but it turned out well. As I was getting ready to go backstage, out of the corner of my eye, I saw my boyfriend jump up and ask to talk to the host, saying he has a very important news. As he began to walk to the stage, he looked very serious, and I began to think he was going to break it with me. But that wasn't the case. He knelt down on one knee and pulled a box out of his pocket and asked me to marry him on live TV. I couldn't say yes fast enough. Never I could imagine in these 4 years of our relationship he will pop the question. But because he did, I'm the happiest woman in the world. What was a knife for?
For protection.
From who?
Everyone?
You know that is illegal.
No.
It is.
Well, I am sorry.
Speaking to that woman is the way you did is conscious assault.
Never spoke to her.
She recognized you.
Well, then she must be seriously mistaken.
She will press his charge.
For what? For speaking to her?
You admit you were speaking to her.
Can I ask you something?
Right.
Did you ever keep it up? Listen, that's what I did. I keep it up. That's what I did. I only told her a simple, harmless comment and she behaved like a total fucking bitch.
You tried to pick her up.
Why would I try to pick her up?
She's an attractive woman.
She was not an attractive woman.
You gay?
What kind of question is that?
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No. Not fucking gay.
You married?
Yes, in fact, I am. I am married. I was going back to my wife.
You were going back to your wife?
Yes, I was going home to her.
You said you were going back to her. What did you mean? Much better. Estamos acá, chiquillos, con Amanda Brennan, nuestra perfecta profesora. Ella habla inglés, yo hablo español, yo hablo cero inglés, así que tenemos acá un dilema, pero tenemos nuestro amigo Claudito, enfócate a nuestro Claudito, estupendo, que también lo vamos a entrevistar próximamente en nuestro canal. Así es que abajito les voy a dejar en descripción todas las redes sociales, toda la página de Amanda para que ustedes puedan ahí consultarle, etcétera, todo lo que quieran saber. Y yo acá la tengo en persona, así que Amanda, muchas gracias por esta entrevista. No me entiende nada en este momento. ¿Qué te pareció la diferencia entre actores de Inglaterra versus los latinos? ¿Qué cosas podemos mejorar? ¿De verdad tenemos futuro en esto? ¿Nos ves algo? ¿O tengo que trabajar, quizás cambiar mi carrera?
Okay, no, you definitely got a future, which is good. I think the thing for Chilean actors is speaking and acting in English fluently and letting the emotions of the character and the situation to be embodied. So if you're still, the rhythm of the language is very different. So if you're working on a text which is in English, sometimes the rhythm is possibly a little bit more staccato or a little bit, and so therefore the body needs to be, the language needs to be integrated into the body, and that's the challenge, which is difficult. But you've definitely got a future, very talented actors, yeah.
Very much. I understand, yeah. Okay, good. Tuviste la oportunidad de trabajar con gente en la cárcel, ¿cierto? ¿Cómo fue esa experiencia? ¿Cómo ven ellos el sentido del arte quizás para poder, no sé, como tener un futuro quizás en esto. ¿Cómo se desarrolla eso en tu país?
That was a long time ago, but yeah, but it was they weren't actors, so it's more working on communication skills and creativity and looking at expression, looking at being able to be confident in speaking to people, and it was also about play, about working with stories, about working with the imagination. So an element of it was about rehabilitation, so exploring with I did some work on mask work, for example, or we did some filming so that they created their own short films, and we did some productions within the prison. So it was not that any of them were going to be actors, it was just about them learning and exploring creativity, which for a lot of them was very new. So yeah, it was great, but I think after 2 or 3 years it was quite intense. So I'd kind of moved on after 2 or 3 years, but it's a good art. The arts are good for everybody, so everybody I think should be exposed to being able to see art and to practice art. So.
En ese mismo tema, ¿qué tipo de prisioneros te pudiste encontrar? ¿Era peligrosa la relación? ¿Tenía un poco susto quizás? ¿Que podía haber alguna, no sé, reacción de la gente contigo? No sé. ¡Qué miedo igual!
Well, I've worked in different prisons, but one thing about working in prison education is you don't talk about what people have done or why people are there. Your focus is to work with them creatively, and so I actually never knew, because it's not my job to sort of say what did you do and why you were here, but what it was my job is to look at their education and to work on developing them as human beings. But it wasn't about, it didn't really matter. It didn't matter what they did or why they were there. They were there and they came into my classroom, so we might have looked at Shakespeare, or we might have looked at improvisation, or we might have looked at them doing games, but it was kind of irrelevant why they were there. They were just there. There was other things that I've done, again, I don't do this so much anymore, but I've worked with young people that on projects that are at risk of offending behaviour. So that might be creating plays and stories which are relevant to them. So again, it's sort of, that work is more looking at changing their outlook on life and changing behaviour. But in the prisons it was not so much that.
Bueno, hace poco tuvimos la noticia de que una mujer fantástica ganó el Oscar a la mejor película extranjera, la historia del oso. De a poquito Chile va tomando más como protagonismo, ¿no? ¿Más lento? ¿Sí? Va tomando más protagonismo en el cine. ¿Cómo tú crees que nos ven fuera, a la industria chilena?
I think as soon as you win an international award, like an Oscar, or even success in festivals, which actually that film has been very successful in several festivals, as had the director's previous work, like Gloria, for example. Then you get known, you know, and the work, it's obviously showing that there's a lot of talent from the directors, from the writers, from the production crew, from the actors. So it's, I think internationally, the more you gain recognition, the more people realise. But Latin America has got a very good reputation in Europe for producing brilliant films. So you know, Venezuela has, Argentina has, Mexico has. So you, amongst the more independent filmmakers in Europe, Latin America is known to be a country where the films produce really brilliant films. But it's great that having won the Oscar, it also puts Chile in you know, in the limelight a little bit more. So it's brilliant. It's a brilliant thing.
Yo veía una entrevista de Antonio Banderas, muy joven, cuando llegó recién a Hollywood. Y él también está como en mi posición, en el sentido de no entendía mucho inglés, y él decía, yes, I can do that, yes, I can do that, todo. Decía que sí, de repente le decían, tírate un 9º piso, y él, yes, I can do it, y él quedaba. Entonces, ¿qué tanto, quizá para una persona que no maneja tanto el inglés, es verdad, en ese sentido, ponte tú esto de los cazatalentos, de los workshops? Yo fui a un workshop en Hollywood, del iPop, y claro, los managers andaban como, claro, cazatalentos buscando, más cortito, ¿no? ¿Sí? ¿qué tan real es eso de alguien te va a venir a tomar tu carrera y que el manager te va a llevar y va quizás a ayudarte en ese sentido? ¿O más bien hay que hacer tus propios proyectos y salir tú sola al mundo, más que como esperar que estos workshops te ayuden como actriz como singularmente, más que tener tu propia productora?
Well, it's good to have dreams. It's important to have dreams, but it's also important to have dreams that are anchored in reality. And I'm personally not interested in celebrity and Hollywood. I'm interested in work. So people making like amazing stories and making films and television that matters and says something about the world and says something about our environment. And so it's not that everything needs to be educational, but just human stories that, you know, inform us about how we live and how we could live. That's what interests me. But Hollywood and America is one source of filmmaking. There's lots of others. There's brilliant independent filmmakers across the world. And again, I'm more interested in smaller independent films than blockbusters. So although they serve a purpose, of course, blockbusters serve a purpose. So the whole Marvel films are brilliant, and particularly like the latest one with Black Panther, it's good to have a diversity shown in those type of films. But I think where the real interest for me lies is in independent filmmaking, in smaller stories where, you know, people, up and coming filmmakers have the opportunity to create their work. Actors have the opportunities, actors that aren't necessarily the only, you know, small group of actors that are repeatedly in the same films, where I think it's important that that through independent film, artists get opportunity. So there's masses of talent out there, and if there's only ever the same group of people that are given the opportunities and given the money, particularly in relation to women. So at the moment there's a whole big national, international expression of the need for women to get opportunities, and I support that. I think it's really important that women filmmakers, female actresses, that the stories reveal the stories of the world, rather than it's just kind of exclusively a small group of people. So yes, it's fantastic to dream, but the celebrity life doesn't particularly interest me. What interests me is what is the passion and the desire to make work that means something. And to give people the opportunity everybody the opportunity to work creatively. So it's a bit of a serious answer, but that's what I feel.
Un pequeño consejo para los actores chilenos, para mí también, lo que pudiste ver en estos 5 días, 4 días que estuvimos juntas, para poder seguir puliendo nuestra capacidad actoral, nuestro entendimiento de los textos, etcétera, que nos puedas dar, y que te puedas despedir a cámara en español. Lo que puedas decir en español hacia nuestro canal CATA VERA.
Okay, so advice is to keep practicing in English, to keep reading English scripts if you want to work internationally, to work on to explore the physical rhythm of the text. So and to keep with the physical work up, which is what we did, the intro to working on the body. What else? Run out of ideas now. To have confidence in your ability. I think that's really important. Yeah, I think everybody really progressed. Everybody really was in. I have a particular way of working, which is to really work with the body. So to not analyse so much, but to keep practically working, keeping your body tuned. But yeah, that's it. And adios en español.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Así es que acá tenemos la primicia con Amanda Brennan. Nos vemos en más de tu canal, CATA VERA.